Welcome to episode 23 of the podcast. We talk about England winning the Euros again. We go through every single England game, giving our opinion, and we also give what?
Our verdict on our players of the tournament and our donkey of the tournament too.
Exactly. So like the video, subscribe for more women's football content, and enjoy the video.
Best podcast in the football league. It's Charlie and Kirsty. Charlie and Kirsty. Oh, best podcast in the football league. It's Charlie and Kirsty. Charlie and Kirsty.
Who's got the best podcast in the football league? It's Charlie and Kirsty. Get in. What a chant. What a clip. That was us from Mancunian Unity versus Bradford at the weekend. And something else amazing happened at the weekend for this lovely team over here. The Lionesses won the Euros again. Champions again.
The English are never done.
Or ole ole was what I was hoping.
The English are never done.
So, we done it again. The English beat Spain. The Arsenal ladies carried another final. Caldente scored. Arsenal. Chloe Kelly crossed it in the box. Russo. Arsenal. And Chloe Kelly scored a penalty to win England the Euros. Arsenal. Thank you very much.
Not like Arsenal fans need another reason to gloat in
Champions
life.
of Europe. Ole ole.
Well, actually, we're all champions of Europe now because we're European champions back to back, baby.
Should we talk about the game?
If we must.
I'll be honest. I spent most of the time looking at a really cute dog at the pub because it was just really stressful to watch. So most of the time I was just like, oh, there's a dog running around. We're still 1-0 down. That was how I spent most of the game.
My Whoop readings, when I had a check, were just ridiculous. Like, my heart rate was high heart rate level. I did no exercise yesterday, guys. The only exercise I did was walking up and down the side of the pitch doing coverage for Unity in Bradford. So, you know, but again, like, we came back. How many times in this tournament have we conceded first and come back and won a game?
Far too many. It was just, yeah, it was weird. It was a really weird start to the game. As always, English media, the big build-up, you know, they've done this, they've done that. We've got Jill Scott, we've got Ellen White, they won it last time, blah, 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 all this. And you're thinking, yeah, go on, here we go, we're going to win it. And then Spain are just dominating England. Caldente goes and scores, and then you're like, oh, here we go again. This is going to be the World Cup all over again. And to be honest, it was tough. Like, it was really tough watching England and just watching England getting dominated on the ball and so many chances for Spain. It was awful to watch. And the amount of chances that England just couldn't create, it was a bit of a mismatch, wasn't it? Like, Lauren James clearly wasn't match fit.
Nope.
Hemp was having the game of her life. Like, she was really going at it, wasn't she? And it just...
I do feel like at international level as well, I know that me, Hannah and Emloy were talking about this last night on a live, but we'd said Lauren Hemp goes underrated for England. Like,
Massively.
for England, Lauren Hemp is way too underrated, and people don't realise how effective she actually is in that team. And she has proved herself this tournament. Like, not that she had to as me as a City fan, but to others, she's proven that she deserves her space in that team. She ran for her life in every game, and it was never too much for her. And it's just England, isn't it?
I do
she
think
is
it's.
England.
I do think with Lauren Hemp, it's purely because she doesn't really get the numbers. Like, she doesn't really get a lot of assists and a lot of goals, where she kind of does for City. So it's like, you know, she's not a Chloe Kelly and she's not a Beth Mead or a Russo in that she'll pop up with goals, but the stuff that creates goals is because of players like Hemp. And I completely back you in that. Like, I do feel like she is really good for England, but she is still underrated. Yeah, it was a weird first half. I was really, well, we were all just hoping for a change, weren't we? Like, I think the whole country was just going, right, Serena, make your changes, because you know it. The starting lineup is never going to be the team that finishes the game. So we're all just going, make your changes. And it takes Lauren James to get injured again for that change to be made. And the change was Chloe Kelly. And it was. And I really didn't think it would be.
I didn't expect her to come on as early as she did. I did not think it'd be Chloe Kelly that she'd bring on, and I knew fine well it definitely wasn't going to be Michelle. So we were all kind of sat speculating as to who we thought it was going to be.
Well, I thought it was going to be Mead.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we? The group of people we were with did say, "Oh well, it'd be Beth Mead," and it was Chloe Kelly.
Instead,
my disappointment.
Instead, Serena's turned Beth Mead into a centre mid. Like she's playing centre mid at the minute.
Trust the process is what I've learned. Because if we can come back as many times as we have and Serena do it again, like, I totally back my manager now. She's done what others haven't done. She's won it 3 times now, back to back to back.
And it's the conversation we had in the last podcast of, is she going to make them risks? And she did make the risk, but also the risk of her making the sub so late was another risk as well. Like the risk of throwing Michelle in instead of Aggie Beaver-Jones in some games, especially that final. You look at it and you're thinking, right, it's 70 minutes, and she throws Michelle in and takes Russo off, and you're like, and I was really shocked. I was like, wow, taking Russo off when she's already she scored the goal from a great cross and a really, really good header. But then you're looking and you're thinking, well, the other games we played 2 up front and we've played Russo and Michelle. So why are we now swapping it and going just the one again? But it was clearly a tactical thing of we need to sit behind the ball. Like Spain was so good on the ball, weren't they? Like they were playing. I mean, it's in their DNA, isn't it? Like they are taught to keep the ball and stuff like that. We're not really there at the minute, England, in terms of like the FA and stuff like that. But that is a conversation for another day. But no, in terms of like keeping the ball for Spain, England had to just drop back, and we needed to rely on someone really strong and powerful and someone who's really technical as well. And Michelle is for that kind of job, I think better suited than Aggie Beaver-Jones. And she smashed it. She absolutely smashed it. I'm trying to think in my head what was happening at that time. So she comes on and we kind of just hold on, really, don't we? I don't think we created too many chances from scoring the goal to then going into this extra time and into the penalties. And I think we really, really rode our luck. But when you get to penalties, as I always say, anything can happen, and it did.
It did. I'm going to be honest here. I watched the penalties through my fingers. And I was watching the kids that were playing on the pitch outside at one point because I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. So I was waiting for everyone else's reactions to what had happened in the pens and then watch the pens when they were replayed. But when we started off with Beth Mead and Beth Mead scored and it was like, oh my God, it's gone in. And then they were like, retake, double tap. And you were like, oh
she slipped and hit it. She hit it with her right foot and then her left foot took it into the goal.
So then when she had to retake it, but this time Catacall saved it, we were like, oh God,
she didn't want to take it.
We are done.
When you look at Beth Mead's run-up, she did not want to take that penalty again.
But talking from an Arsenal point of view, and obviously it was a positive for us as a country because Caldente missed her second penalty, I believe, of the tournament. So clearly that needs to be practiced when she goes back to Arsenal. Just saying.
Oh, we had 3 in the penalty shootout that missed. We had Beth, Caldente, and Leah miss their penalties.
But do you know what reassured me? When I saw that it was Alex Greenwood who was stepping up to take that pen second, we know from being City fans, in disguise for you, but from being City fans, Alex Greenwood is very good at taking penalties. When she's given the time to need to do it, she'll do it, and she is amazing at it. And set pieces, to be fair.
All set pieces. As a centre-back.
So hilarious. I was not worried in the slightest. And then obviously Caldente missed hers. Niamh Charles scored hers, which surprised a lot of people.
I'm surprised she took one.
I'm glad she did, though.
Yeah, 100%. But I didn't...
Big up Niamh Charles.
When you look at the other players, like, I'm really surprised Niamh Charles stood up and took one, but fair play.
But is there anything more satisfying than watching a really, really smug player take a penalty and miss? I'm just saying.
Are you talking about Aitana Bonmati by any chance?
Yeah, the same person that didn't want to collect a player of the tournament trophy.
I've never cheered so much when she missed that penalty. Oh my God. Oh, was it?
And before anybody comes at us in the comments, either if this gets clipped for TikTok or whether it's just watching this or listening to it on your podcast providers, we're not being critical. Like, we're being critical in a professional manner. We are not just moaning about players, just to clarify. Thank you. But then obviously Paruella missed hers as well after Leah had missed hers, and then Chloe Kelly again saved England. And I did contemplate, and Charlie would have loved this, but I did contemplate this morning when I went to go get my tattoo done, getting something relating to Chloe Kelly, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't. So we went for Leah's quote instead.
The English are never done.
The English are never done. And I mean, if we go back, obviously we've talked about the final, we've won it. Woohoo! Exciting. And we now have had to buy a football shirt as a guest book for our wedding, which is exciting. Obviously we won't be able to share it with you guys though, because we don't want to leak our name. But like, if you think where we were when we were in the group. So the last time we filmed a podcast, we just lost to France. So coming off the back of France, we obviously played the Netherlands, and I was very worried about that game. I didn't know how to pitch my thoughts on it. I did panic slightly. I'd not given up hope, but I did panic slightly that we weren't going to win, or it was going to be a draw, and it was a game that we needed to win. Whereas I think from the start, you were very much, we'll be fine, it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's the Netherlands. Like, they've got really, really good, talented individuals, but they just can't play as a team. And when it comes to big games, they fall apart. So I just knew it, and I just had a feeling that we would turn up and just. I think when we play France, we really struggle against France for some reason. They're like our bogey team, but when we play the Netherlands, it just clicks every single time. So I was not worried.
Can we just say as well, in the Netherlands game, the fact that Alessia Russo got 3 assists
She
is
was
madness.
unreal, and she
Absolute madness.
Didn't she get a goal denied?
She had a goal that
Yeah.
was ruled out because it was offside.
It was one of the silly ones again, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Not the Beth Mead one, but it was her that was offside by a tiny little bit as well.
Ridiculous. Like, we really need to look at this
Oh,
semi-automated
the officials
rubbish.
in most of the tournament. Oh, that's another podcast for another day.
Yeah, don't get Charlie started on the refs, otherwise this podcast will be taken down. But then we played Wales and we were 4-0 up by half time, which wasn't a stress at all. I know that there are some Welsh fans that don't agree with Georgia Stanway's penalty, which fair enough.
It was a bit dodgy.
But obviously she scored, then Ella Toon shortly after, then Lauren Hemp got one, and Alessia Russo. Now, Hemp and Russo's goal were both assisted by Ella Toon as well. So Ella Toon and Alessia Russo, in terms of assists, did unreal, like massively. Then obviously Beth Mead scored, and then Aggie Beaver-Jones scored. Both assist one another. Yep. Big fact there. And Hannah Kane did score for Wales, assisted by legend Jess Fishlock. Now, obviously, Jess Fishlock is quite old. No offence, but she is quite old in terms of football. And this probably could be her last major tournament. But I'll give it to the Welsh. They were so resilient. Not a single one of them was crying when they came off that pitch with sadness. They went over to their fans. They went over and celebrated with their families. Like, it was so lovely to see those interactions, despite the fact they knew they were going home. But I do feel like they knew from after that first game that it would be them that would go home, and it would just be between us, France, and the Netherlands as to who stayed. But they were a good crack, and they'd already made history by making the tournament in the first place. So
yeah,
I
was
think,
just going to say that,
even though they didn't make it out of the group, as a country and a club, they should be so proud of themselves.
the first goal, and the second,
and they qualified. So the group was the least of our worries, though, wasn't it? Really. If we look at the Sweden game,
look at the 2 goals that they scored. They scored a goal against France and they scored a goal against England. Like, you take that.
Yeah.
You take that.
I'd take that as a win.
Where did we go after that?
Sweden.
Stina.
Well, before we get into the game, I just think the irony of the fact of the initials of the players that scored for both teams spelled out ABBA.
Oh, unreal.
Still, the Swedish went home.
Unreal. I can't believe that.
That game, I do not know how. I have no words. It was just intense.
I think I still have PTSD from that game.
Oh my God. Like when we were 2-0 down in the 25th minute, I was like, what is going on? Like we're going home. We'd gone out with someone that we'd met through TikTok and we'd gone to watch it with them. And we were all like, well, should we just go home now? And we were like, no, we'll stick it out. It'll be fine. And I'd said, because I always get a good feeling that Lucy Bronze was going to score. Who scored that first goal for England in the 79th minute,
say,
my love?
You've gone from the 25th minute to the 70th.
Yeah, I'm jumping straight there because Lucy needs more credit, especially now it's come out that she played a full tournament with her tibia broken. I think it must have only been a hairline fracture. But the fact she played all the way through with that and played 2 120-minute games as well as all of the group's games is absolutely insane.
Because of Chloe Kelly.
Yeah, Chloe Kelly did assist her. We'll give him that. Clearly.
Them two just work so well together.
Yeah,
but
they really do.
Yeah, Chloe Kelly comes on and puts a cross right on Lucy Bronze's head. Bang, straight in.
Yep.
And then...
within 2 minutes, who scored?
You know who. The young player of the tournament, Michelle Agerman.
Michelle, take a bow, you legend. Baller. She did get booked within 6 minutes after that.
She always gets booked.
I did lose points on fantasy team, but
she always gets booked.
You know. But how we managed to turn it around, because we were struggling against Sweden. We were really struggling, and Sweden were relentless. Like, when you look at some of their players they've got as well.
First half, they were relentless. But they've got an old... I'm just talking absolute waffle, maybe, but in my opinion, from what I think about Sweden, they're an older team. I'm not sure if that's right. But I think they've got a lot of older players. And I think that's why, like, Rolfo and Stina had to come off. And did Cannerid come off as well? But, like, all these players come off, and then all of a sudden now they just don't look the same. And when them players come off and England start throwing on the talent that we've got, it just looked like we were destined to win it. But I did think we were going to get it before the pens. And then, obviously, when it does go to pens, it's probably the worst penalty shootout I've ever seen in my life.
I'm putting it out there. My predictions were right, though. I said in the quarters it would go to penalties. And you were all like, no, don't say it. Don't put it in the atmosphere. But it happened. But, yeah, it wasn't a very good advertisement. I know that we've been quite lucky that we've not had too much, but it did not do us female football content creators any good in the slightest, because Barry, with his beer in the garden, clearly got a kick out of coming and rage baiting people, complaining about the quality of the penalty shootout. But it did make it more entertaining. And of course, as always, Chloe Kelly, well, we won't dismiss Alessia Russo's pen. She did score first. Angledar surprised me when she missed. Then LJ missed. Another one.
Everyone missed. There was 9 penalty misses.
Alessia Russo, Chloe Kelly, and yet again, Bronzy saved the day with her broken tibia.
There was 9 missed penalties. Let's move on from this penalty shit. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Charlie may have a breakdown if we carry on, guys. But it then did mean that we played Italy in the semi-final. What happened first?
We underestimated them, I think. I think we turned up thinking we're gonna roll these lot, bring on the final, and then they scored in the 30th minute.
We were at box to box for this one, and good. It was hilarious to be sat with everybody that we were sat with. And big up Shelley if you see this. But Shelley and her girls were ready to go home. They thought that we were out and they were ready to go home. And then it went to extra time. And then it was just, no. But when we conceded first again, I didn't worry too much. I didn't, because we'd already come back from being behind in the quarters. So I didn't think it was going to...
I didn't really feel much about this one. Like, I felt like Italy were probably going to score first because they just looked like they were full of energy, and they're a pretty good team. But it was weird. They scored and they just started rolling around and like time wasting. And my thing is always, if you're time wasting in the first half and so much, like, you are so desperate to win this game, it's not going to help you. If you're already time wasting, it's not going to help. Like, you need to score and keep your momentum going, because as soon as you score and you completely go, right, let's sit behind the ball, we're not going to let any more goals in. You allow the other team to apply so much pressure. And that's what they did, and it just allowed England to grow into the game. And I do also think like not Chloe Kelly, sorry, Beth Mead coming on for Lauren James straight after the half was also a big thing again. Like, just I think England just really struggled to get the structure right in most of the games. But yeah, it was just it was a mess, wasn't it? Like, they were just rolling around the floor, the Italian players. England were just trying to keep the game going, and Italy were just like either time wasting, falling on the floor, goalkeeper taking ages to take kicks. Like,
She
they
did
were
get
just
booked eventually, though, didn't
but
she?
they were just trying to kill the game, weren't they? And it just meant that England just went, right, let's do it. Just threw everyone on. We had Chloe Kelly, Michelle Agerman, and Aggie Beaver-Jones on at once.
And what did Michelle do in the 96th minute?
Mate, she got a double meg. She megged the centre back and the goalkeeper. Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
We did end up in extra time. Not for the first time.
Not for the last.
And not for the last time either. Thank you, England, for winning it again, but not for how you've put us on an emotional rollercoaster. But Chloe Kelly did end up with a penalty in the 119th minute. She missed it, but what happened?
Her and Toon were the first on it, weren't they? Like,
Yeah.
as soon as the goalkeeper saved it, Kelly and Toon were right on it, and Kelly just managed to just nick it just underneath the goalkeeper and then do the Thierry Henry celebration at the goal.
And do you know what
corner flag.
else? With Chloe Kelly, that is actually the latest goal to ever be scored in the Euros tournament.
Was it later than Bon Matty's?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
119th minute.
Wow. And then a massive thing after that was Jess Carter coming on, because we've not had the podcast since the whole Jess Carter thing.
No, we haven't.
When was that? Was that the Sweden game?
Yes.
Yeah, so after the Sweden game, obviously, Jess Carter went through a lot of racial abuse from just...
Not acceptable.
There's not even a word for them people, but yeah, went through all of that, and England backed her, and every team pretty much in the WSL and in the NWSL had backed Jess Carter, which then left Serena with a really difficult decision to make, and I think she left her out purely on a tactical thing. It wasn't even a thing that happened with her. It wasn't even protection, and it wasn't even a bad performance thing. It was, she chose to leave Carter out because we were going to have more of the ball, and she believes that Esme Morgan is better on the ball than Jess Carter, which is fair, which is a complete fair judgment, and is also why Jess Carter played in the final and Esme Morgan didn't, because we weren't going to have the ball as much. Worked out. But when Jess Carter comes on that pitch and is subbed on, you can hear it through the TV. Everyone in box to box was cheering.
I think I got a video clip of it, actually.
Yeah. And she said it as well. I think she done an interview, Jess, or Serena actually, and said, like, that was such a big thing for her to have everyone behind her at that point. It was great. I think that's what is the moment for me in this tournament.
Yeah, it was, and I mean, it happens all the time, doesn't it? But I think it's not acceptable. And one thing I do want to talk about is also the response that the Lionesses had to that. So obviously, like Charlie said, different clubs brought out statements. The Lionesses brought out statements. All of the Lioness players also highlighted it. But the fact that they stood together, and I got goosebumps from it. Like, it made me emotional. The fact that they all stood together on that sideline when that whistle at the beginning of the game was
all
blown.
The subs,
all of the subs and all of the staff were up standing for her because England had decided as a club that they weren't going to take the knee because they felt that it was completely irrelevant now, because clearly it's not had the effect that it had had before. And I think to stand in solidarity like that with Jess Carter just showed how incredible this team is, both on and off the pitch. 1000%. Like, but can I throw some stats at you?
Of course you can.
In a positive way, because you all know how much I love my stats. Let me just get them up. This Euros, I think there is one player who deserves a lot more credit than I think some people have given her. And I personally would have possibly given this person player of the tournament over Aitana Bonmati. And that human being is Hannah Hampton, right? She came in her words, in her interview, as the villain because people thought she'd taken Mary Earps's place. There was no place to be taken. Hannah Hampton has earned her right to be in that team. And I was reading this morning, and she was actually born with no depth perception, and she was told she'd never be able to play sport.
Wow.
And she has just won the Euros for us. And a sad side to that for Hannah Hampton is as well, she has released this morning that her granddad actually passed away 2 days before the Euros started, which is really sad.
That is sad.
But she has gone and helped win this. She has saved us so many times in this tournament, and I feel like goalkeepers sometimes do go under the radar. They don't get credit because they're not the ones scoring goals, unless you're Ann-Katrin Berger. But they're not the ones scoring goals, and I feel like she deserves that trophy because she didn't get it, but she would have deserved it because she's defied all odds, both personally and professionally, and she has earned her shirt as England's number one.
No, I agree. I think
100%.
I've always rated Hannah Hampton, but I've always said her kind of weakness was her distribution, and she has worked on it, and you can see it. She's worked on it so well, and that goal that Alessia Russo scores, I can't remember which game it is for the life of me, but that pass is unbelievable. It just goes all the way through. Like, you can tell she's worked on that, and that's what I think has really gave her the confidence to be England's number one, is that she can now do everything, and she's not been able to do that before, and now she can. She is who she is, and she's been unbelievable. Do you know what? I back you on that. I was going to ask you earlier, a bit later, sorry, who your player of the tournament was going to be. Because for me, it was going to be Berger, but actually rethinking about the stuff that Hannah Hampton's done during this tournament and in that final especially, I think, yeah, she probably is England's player of the tournament. Like, if it's not, I can't think of anyone else in the starting 11 that played every single minute that has made more impact than Hannah Hampton. So, yeah, I think she is England's player of the tournament, personally.
Captain Lucy Bronze, maybe. Coming as a close second.
But even then, I think when you look at the goals conceded by England, there isn't a mistake by Hannah Hampton. It's either a really good goal or a really bad judgment from the defence.
Yeah.
So
no,
in
right.
that case,
You're right.
I can't choose Lucy Bronze over Hannah Hampton because there's been a lot of points where Lucy has made a mistake or been out of position because she's literally got one leg. Whereas like Hannah Hampton,
you literally played with one leg.
Whereas like Hannah Hampton hasn't made I don't think she had like made a mistake.
I do hope, though, that Hannah Hampton can, obviously different positions, but can follow in the footsteps of players like Lucy Bronze, who actually played her 36th game in a major international tournament. And for fellow Lucy Bronze fans, you will be happy to know that she said in an interview last night that she will be available for the World Cup if she is selected.
She's already booked her plane ticket.
And hopefully we will also have Captain Leah Williamson and she can break another record because she is the first England captain to win 2 major trophies. Male or female.
We're not comparing them.
We're not, but I mean, it's on the stats. It says England as a whole. And it was also, for the Euros, in favour of the Women's Euros, it was the highest attended Women's Euros ever. So yet another record has been...
the best thing I saw from that Euros was that the games that you wouldn't expect to have big attendances had really big attendances. And I think that's where the England one kind of didn't do as well, because like the England attendances were amazing, but like your other games weren't as big, whereas this one you could like every game was jam packed. Like we knew people that were going to games of like teams that I can't like pull out a random team in a minute, but like a Switzerland game maybe. Like we know a few people that went to the opening game, for example, and it's like wow, that's quite good. And it was like 30,000 or something ridiculous.
There were 657,291 people who attended the Euros in person.
Class.
And we've also, I'm not going to bring the numbers out because I know what happens if I do, but the number of people who were watching the games as well was well into double figures in the millions.
Yeah, the final, I think, in England was 12.1 mil or something like that. I might be wrong, but...
So, yet again, women's football is out there making history.
Growing again.
growing again, and hopefully it does mean that there will be higher attendances in the WSL this season. If you are near a WSL team but you don't support one, get yourself to a game. It is well worth going to. And if you're near Man City, you'll get to see us. Great.
I would like to see if England made a stat of like a team that won the Euros but played the most amount of minutes ever, because I feel like what we did in every single knockout game, we went to extra time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder if that is a stat.
I wonder. We'll have to look into it, and hopefully before the next podcast.
I wonder. I'm not doing that. That's too much effort. I might ask ChatGPT. Let's do top 5 players of the tournament.
Hannah Hampton. Katchenberger.
Yeah, they're my 2.
Esther Gonzalez.
Yeah, she was mint.
For Spain. Who else? Stina, maybe, for Sweden.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, this isn't the bias coming out of me, and I'm not, even as much as I want to say Lucy Bronze, I'm not going to say Lucy Bronze. Good. And you're not going to agree with this in the slightest, but tough. I'm just going to ignore you. Alex Greenwood. To say that this is her first major tournament back with as much injury time as she had, I'd say either her or Lauren Hemp, because Lauren Hemp, the same reason.
Yeah, fair. I want to give a shout out. Well, not really a shout out. She's won a Ballon d'Or, mate. But like, Alexia Patella was mint. Like them first, like 3-4 games, you could see the level. Like, I think I don't know. Obviously, you watched Barca way before I did, but like, has she like recently come back from an injury or something like that? Because she went really quiet.
Season ago, yeah.
She's been really quiet, hasn't she? And
yeah.
I remember when Lucy Bronze was there, like she was kind of on and off the bench a lot of the time. But like in this Euros, I've really seen her ability, and like yes, obviously Bon Mati is incredible as well, and her football brain is there. But I just feel like Patella's has got something else. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about her. I just really like watching her play. I think she was really good. Obviously, Caldente is so instrumental to every team she plays for, and I really didn't give her credit until she came to Arsenal, of like how good she actually is. Like she does what Patella and Bon Mati does, like, and she does it the same level in my opinion. So yeah, Ballon d'Or for her. Unless it goes Chloe Kelly.
That's a stretch.
But yeah, I think everyone you've mentioned. Yeah. That Girelli actually for Italy was good. She was very good. She did get a bit whingy in the England game and was,
a bit
rolling around crying. But then she got injured, man, and she was crying. Be nice.
I do, though, want to quickly just talk about someone for Sweden. Holmberg, who took the final penalty for Sweden. It was a bit peak that they made her take that penalty against us, because she is only 18 years old. Yeah. And I did feel really bad celebrating when you look back, because she was so devastated. And for me, it was like watching Bukayo Saka all over again.
I did think that, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm English. I support the Lionesses. I got over it very quick.
I'm not being funny. I doubt the Swedish media are going to be as harsh as the English media.
And I mean, Zlatan got in touch with her afterwards and sent her a message. So I'm sure anything he can say is better than anyone else. So it is what it is. Last one then.
Donkey of the tournament.
I'm not participating in this, but I'm happy for you to take the floor off.
Donkey of the tournament goes to the Italian manager.
Oh, I agree.
What a donut. I agree. What a donut that guy is.
Do you know what? My granddad actually thought he was Arne Slot.
Yeah.
And he went, is he not managing Liverpool? I'm like, you can't manage 2 teams at once, granddad. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
The way that he took his jacket off and stormed down the tunnel and then walked back. Oh, mate.
You got booked. Sit down and shh. That's what we were all saying, to be fair.
Donkey of the tournament goes to him. I don't even know his name, and I don't want to know his name. He's a donut.
No. But what a tournament it's been. We are champions again.
Ole, ole.
I have got a new tattoo. I'm hoping it's healed before the wedding. You can see it properly on the TikTok when I take it off. But That's it for this week, isn't it, really?
Yeah. One thing we're going to do in the next season coming up is we're going to do a segment every single podcast, and it's going to be play, bench, sell. Start, bench, sell.
Oh.
So this one for this week is for Kirsty, and it's going to be start, bench, sell Beth Mead, Chloe Kelly, Lauren James.
Why? Why throw this on me? Right. Just because she's injured at the minute.
No, they're all fit. They're all fully fit, all ready to play.
Oh, God. Why would you do this? I'd sell Chloe Kelly. Bench Beth Mead just because I feel like she's an impact player. And I'd have to start LJ because people are going to come for me if not. But really, in my heart of hearts, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd start Chloe Kelly, bench Beth Mead, and sell LJ because I don't feel like, and I'm doing this from a City perspective, I don't feel like she'd fit in at City just because of how we play. I know yours.
I'm not playing this week. Anyway, see you later, guys.